that
Let's
Instagram?
go live on Insta.
Please.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
What's up?
What's up, kid?
I'm sad that I missed this last week.
We missed you too.
I was grabbing. No, I missed
I know.
the high five.
I know. Because we weren't prepared last
I was
week. We are
getting
prepared
glasses.
this week.
Yes, we are.
We're on time.
Welcome.
What are we on time for? I'm
For
tossing
now,
you the ball.
Cigar Talk Live.
See, I like your voice better. What's up, everybody? This is Cigar Talk Live. This is our Tuesday get-together where you beautiful people get to sit with all these beautiful people on this side of the lens. And also on that side of the lens is we have production squad on key, ready to roll today. Make sure, if you're watching this, to hit the share, tag in some friends, let people know that this exists. Because although this, Ron, we know you're going to share with 117 people
At least.
or pages. So thank you. It's going to
the
reach
dogs.
everyone. So yes, what you can prepare for is an excellent conversation from excellent people in this search of greatness and the search of, I think, finding true north.
Let's go with that.
Pops, what's happened in your world?
Today or just in general?
Sure.
Today in general. Today was a bunch of interesting meetings with. I probably shouldn't say anything just in the event that they are watching.
Okay, good.
So today's meetings were great.
But we can talk about the great meetings we've had with our esteemed guest.
Yes, let's introduce him.
You have no short of 200 hours sitting with him, so I'm going to
Easy.
let you please introduce our esteemed guest.
So our esteemed guest this evening is Frank Cossio. Frank is comes walking in the door via two of our favorite things. I mean, one, let's just take the golf thing. We'll get that out of the way. Professional golf caddy, works at Michael Jordan's golf course. All of these really, really cool things. Man of many stories. And then he is also partnering with our dearest friend in the world, Luciano.
Nice.
And Luciano and Frank have created a spectacular cigar called For an Affair. What? He's got one job.
He's got the headphones
He's
on.
got one job. So that was not an echo. That was me saying For an Affair. So we'll talk a little bit we'll actually talk about cigars for a little bit tonight.
But not too much.
Not too much. We don't want to ruin it.
Frank, what's up, dog?
Not much. How you
First
doing?
question for you. Will you give us your life story in 90 seconds? Go.
Life story. All right. I'm originally from Hoboken, New Jersey. That's where I was born. Moved to South Jersey, a little island called Brigantine. Went to college on a golf scholarship in Florida, West Palm Beach, called Northwood University. Played semi-pro golf for about 10 to 12 years. And then when I didn't make it on the PGA Tour, I took up professional caddying. And then I have a beautiful daughter with my beautiful partner, Alejandra. And just didn't want to be on the road anymore. I didn't want to be on the road 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time. I just wanted to be home with my family and decided to get into the cigar business, my other passion.
Okay, so there's one name I think you left out, which is it's Mike, right?
Yes.
Mike the Greek is what he goes by on Instagram. I
Michael
believe
Denolis.
he's your partner.
He is, yep.
What's his last name?
Denolis.
Denolis.
Yeah.
But we met him at the show. Great guy,
Super awesome
vibrant
guy. Yep.
personality,
Amazing.
handsome guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the world, by the short and curlies.
Absolutely.
How do you go from caddy? How do you go from wherever you're from in New Jersey to semi-pro? I don't know what that is in golf, and then making your way to cigars. I mean, you basically gave one up to move to the next, and what does that transition look like?
It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Golf and cigars have always been my passion, so it was a pretty easy transition. It was always my dream to be a professional golfer at a young age. So I knew I had to get a golf scholarship, get better, and turn pro shortly after college. And then when I didn't make it, I had to make a living and chose professional caddying. And, family, my daughter changed everything. So I just wanted to be home, and I'm a guy of passion, so I chose my other passion, cigars.
How did you get connected with Luciano?
So my partner and best friend, Michael Denolis, he was running a cigar bar in Soho, New York. And during COVID, the bar got shut down, and Luciano used to go to Soho Cigar Bar. They developed a good relationship. He called Luciano when COVID came and they got shut down, and he said, "I'd love to learn from you." So he moved down there, Luciano, of course, open arms. Moved down there, and he studied everything he could about cigars and tobacco and seed to shelf, basically. And he made the introduction to me in Luciano.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We all know Luciano. It takes you 6 seconds to become his brother.
He's the best. Such an amazing human being.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. I think it's a testament to the people you surround yourself with and the people who I think give you energy.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I could see from you today, Adrian, when you're sitting and you're hanging with Baptiste and you're asking about how Baptiste, and I'm guessing that's what you were asking, Baptiste and Julia, how they got to know each other.
Yeah.
What is it that you look for in a friend, or what is it that tells you that somebody's going to be a good value add to your life?
Honestly, first it comes to like-mindedness. And so it's either this, or for me, it's either this or guns, right? And then so that's how the conversations start. It's either, hey, what are you smoking? Or, hey, have you tried this cigar? And then you get start that conversation. Or if you had a range and like, oh, how do you like that pistol? Have you tried this one? And then you just kind of hit it off. And many relationships here versus online, I've met so many people just on Instagram, YouTube and whatnot. And you first, you see each other's passions online, and then you meet for the first time. That's how I met Baptiste. He was in France still at the time. And then he comes to visit, and it's like, so we hang out like at least once, twice a week. Mm-hmm. And it's just a good conversation.
Do you know who Adrian is?
Cigars and guns.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Pretty significant gun influencer, I guess you can call it.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
yeah, by the way, thanks for everyone, Cigars and Guns, for joining us on Cigar Talk Live. It's interesting. Every once in a while you get into it. But the question is, do you have to be ready for that person to come into your life and really go? Or can that person just kind of stumble into your life and change it?
You just never know, honestly. So I'll never be necessarily ready. I have a tight-knit group of people that I trust, right? We all have our circles, but when you meet someone like, man, this guy can fit my circle, and it just happens, right? We moved here, and then I met you, and we sat for 3 hours, right, the first time we met, and just talked about anything and everything. Met your family. That same day, I met your grandma, I met, Pops, obviously, and all your brothers, and I'm like, geez. And then your first words were, welcome to the family.
Yeah.
And it's, you walk in through these doors, and like everyone who's a member here, or at least walk through Industrial Cigars doors, you're welcome to the family. Mm-hmm. And the first time y'all meet, the Frakes, they know you by name.
We'll forget it.
Especially you, Brandon. I mean, you're such a...
No, we'll forget it.
Yeah, no, you will. And then you know their palate, and you just know their drink or whatnot, soda, you name it. And it's just a great feeling.
Frank, how did you get into cigars? I mean, was it golf first, then cigars? What was that experience like?
About the same time as golf. When I was, I shouldn't disclose the age, but
Go ahead.
We all have stories.
At 13 years old.
Nice.
Amen, brother.
I was in Miami at my uncle's house, and my dad asked me if I wanted to have a cigar. I thought it was a trick question. I said no. He's like, come on, Frank, have a cigar. He's like, I'll let you smoke cigars if you don't smoke anything else. And it worked. It was
strategy.
Good line. That's a really good line.
And
That is awesome.
I instantly fell in love with cigars.
Have you smoked anything else?
In college, maybe a little bit. But
I'm just curious if it was going to work. I mean, we're both young dads, so. So that gets in. What are your first cigars? What is it that makes you fall in love with it?
well, my first cigar was a Cohiba with my father and my uncle.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I got spoiled at a young age. But when I was back in New Jersey in high school, it was it was like Philly blunts or Black and Mild, Swisher Sweets. Yeah.
Now we're talking.
And then when I was 18 for our graduation, Michael's dad gave me and Michael a cigar, another Cohiba actually. And ever since then, we just fell in love with premium cigars, and it's never looked back.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Very much.
Pops, could you picture being a cigar manufacturer? Would you want to be a cigar manufacturer?
No, my gut says no.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gut says no.
Now knowing what you know, right?
Yeah,
Being
we
in
share
retail.
it.
I think it's for the people that I genuinely care about, right? Frank has entered that realm, right?
Thank you.
Luciano, Nelson Alfonso, Darren, the Hogans, there are a number of guys that just were very close with them. But there is this thing in my mind that just is experience in business. That's what does your product? What is the stability of the customer base that your product sits on? And if you were selling electronics, you could go to a pretty sophisticated customer base. If you're selling something that's going to go into Walmart, pretty sophisticated customer base. The cigar industry as a whole is not very sophisticated. And it is, so it would be a matter, I think Nelson's attitude of, I just want to sell 5 guys and that's it. As long as those 5 guys can help me pay the bills, I'm good. But I think that the guys that are out trying to put on 1,000 dealers and all that other stuff, about 700 of them are living deposit to deposit to deposit. And, just look at how many limited edition products we've received over our allocation because somebody's credit card didn't go through. So for an $800 order or something. So, I think that's my only fear as a manufacturer is finding the right dealers. And man, the owners where Luciano can help in this situation. If somebody was new and didn't have the guidance of somebody like Luciano, they're going to be out there knocking on every door, falling for a guy that's going to write you an order, and then you may never see another order from him again. It's scary. It's just, look, it's challenging enough to try to make money on the retail side of things, but as a manufacturer, man, your targets are not really super sophisticated. I don't say that to scare the shit out of you, but
but you got to be a fucking idiot to start a cigar company is what he's trying to say.
Basically, yeah.
But it's just in a much, much more polite way.
I'll just read through the lines there. Is it a daunting task for you? Is it something that's somewhat scary, or how do you classify the situation you're in now?
It was a little scary, but not really. I have so much passion for it and something I've always dreamed of. I don't really let fear get in the way of what I want to do.
Is that something golf has taught you?
Possibly, but even before golf, to be a professional golfer, you have to be an idiot too. But I loved it. Same thing for caddying. You're caddying. You're taking a big risk. You're gambling. You're gambling that that your player is going to play well. So it's tough. But you can't let fear get in the way of what you want to do.
Yeah, and you've caddied for. Have you caddied at the Masters?
Yeah.
And you were with the golfer you were telling us you were with?
Yeah.
What is the intensity of the moment like that?
That was incredible. That's one of the few times I got really nervous on the first tee box as a caddy. It was just incredible. The fans, the history of the golf course, my favorite tournament ever. I was pinching myself the whole week, basically. But the most amazing experience of my golf career.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play Augusta, and
he doesn't waste a moment to tell you about it.
No. Let me tell you what I did on 2. So
someone make sure Andrew's watching.
And then on 3, definitely make sure Andrew's watching.
Yeah, the first person who tags Andrew gets a cigar.
I'll say this, that everything was very surreal. But you get on the first tee box, and there's a bunch of guys on the tee box, and they're all shucking it up. And then you hit your shot. And then when you walk off that first tee, you realize all of the people that have walked off that first tee.
Yep.
Jack and Hogan and all of the Tiger and all those guys have walked down that exact path. That's the reality. And you don't even come back to reality till maybe 4 or 5 when you just go, okay, I should probably just stop looking like an idiot trying to hit a golf shot.
Really? It's that distracting?
Yeah.
And a majestic place.
And the way the course is laid out, on one hole I hit, and you go down to the bottom, and there's 2 greens facing you down at the bottom. I think one is 9, and one is like 2 or not. Maybe it's the long par 5 down the hill. But I remember I'm sitting there, and the caddy's going, "Where are you aiming?" And I'm like, "Oh, right over here." And he's like, "No, but that one is our green." I'm like, "But that one's closer." But no, it was it was an amazing experience. And if I'd have played another round of golf in my life, I played there.
Yeah, it's an incredible place.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because you have golf that is so precise, right? You have to take this little ball, hundreds of yards, and put it in a cup that's this big around.
Yep.
But then you have cigars that are so opposite of that. It's by the feel, and the tobacco tells you when it's ready, and everything is this dichotomy that you live in, where you go from something so precise because you're still a caddy,
Yep.
which is what brings you down here, and you're also living in the cigar world. How do you echo those things into being a father of a 2-year-old?
Golf has taught me that you have to adapt to any situation. You could hit the ball in the woods, not as planned. If you're planning to hit the ball in the fairway, right side, left side, and you hit the ball in the woods, you have to adapt right on the fly. So, it's becoming a father, as you know, and you don't know what to expect. There's no manual, and you just have to adapt and take the blows as they come and just do your best.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a theme that we continuously come back on.
Oh, for sure.
I think who you are as a father, as guys here, I think it makes up the character of who you are. And really, it's a similar world to which you live in, right? I mean, you have, even from a sales perspective, cigars and guns, and being an FFL dealer, you have to find the right one, right?
Yeah.
And how does that translate from parents of young kids like we are to now parents of adults as you guys are?
It's one of those things where, so my kids are much older. They're adults, so they're living on their own now. And it's like, I think back, and everything that you're saying resonates, even 30 years back. It's like, yep, I was there too. And, Pops can, him and I are in the same boat, basically. But it's like, everything that you're saying, both of y'all, it's like, yeah, we were young once, and, we had to raise our kids. Kathleen and I didn't have built-in babysitters. We didn't have grandma and grandpa around because we moved away from where we were born. And so it was just all up to us to kind of figure things out but we did it, right? It was, I think you mentioned earlier, Frank, where it was like, it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And you can't plan for it, but you just do it.
Yep. Got to do the best you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what do you think, Pops?
No, I just can't help it. This just takes me back to one of the scariest moments of my entire life. You talk about adapting. Nathan, at a very, very young age, contracted RSV, and he fortunately was born with a birthmark on his head that was like right here, that was like beet red, and it just looked like a blood blister. And I remember rolling him over in his bed, and it was purple, and he wasn't really breathing that well, like hardly at all. Common sense says call 911, but I knew where the ambulance was coming from. So I knew I could get to the hospital faster than they could get to my house and get me to the hospital. So I took off I grabbed Nate, threw him in the front seat, drove to the hospital faster than they would have got me there, or faster than they would have gotten. Now they would have had oxygen and things like that. But you talk about adapting. Yeah. It was like, I'm going. Yeah. And I went and got there, and they said, thank God we got enough oxygen in him now. He's good. But had we waited, who knows what would have happened? Yeah. So it was, you have to adapt. And when, it's adapting is not when a 2-year-old or 3-year-old's climbing on the counter getting ready to jump. That is sometimes you just let them jump once because they'll only do it once. Yeah. And the lesson. But I came into the house one time and one of you guys was on the counter and the other one was on top of the refrigerator, and it was going to be jump time. I thought, well, I'll just let him jump once, and they'll only do it once. And I thought, but from there he might break something. So yeah. I didn't let him actually take that jump. But
it's a bigger point though, because I think you lived through something that all parents truly fear. I think that's having that moment of holy shit, things are real. Yeah. Right. And Nathan was in the hospital. Was Andrew in the hospital?
Andrew got it a week later,
and then I was in the hospital.
And then you had Kawasaki's disease.
So all your kids are in the hospital at the same time.
Yeah.
My first memory is in that hospital.
Yeah.
Was that at
3 years old?
Is that like a love of motorcycles?
It was it was his love for motorcycles. That's where. No, it was horrible. It was his internal body temperature was getting so hot that the inside of his mouth blistered, The bottom of his hands and his feet blistered.
Dude.
He was in excruciating pain. And it was Super Bowl Sunday. I'll never forget. We were laying in the ER, and he was laying on my chest in the ER, and we were sitting there watching the football game.
Wow.
And he was a little bugger. And then, fortunately, the doctor that we had was with Dr. Kawasaki in California as an intern, and they knew to diagnose it. He came in.
No way.
Everybody misdiagnosed it. And he walked in, he goes, "Have you shampooed your carpets recently?" I said, "As a matter of fact, we did."
No shit.
Well, apparently the kids would go sit on the ground and watch cartoons.
Sure.
And the heat in the carpet cleaner brought the bacteria to the surface, and it absorbed into their skin.
What the hell?
So they immediately knew how to treat it. And he laid there dormant for however long it took for these IVs to go run through him. And literally on the last drop, he woke up and was ready to go.
How old were you?
Yeah,
You probably don't remember.
3.
maybe.
Yeah, I was 3. I remember seeing a helicopter land. I remember that Grandma had she got a Baker's grocery store paper bag and a basketball.
Yeah,
For
because
me
you were in like a cage.
Yeah, I was just in a cage. For
You
the
remember
longest
shit at
time.
3 years old?
That's my first memory. Then
Holy
100%, I can picture my eyes and picture
Wow.
what it was like to watch the helicopter land out the window. That's my first memory. And
Damn.
I think talk about adaptation, right? That's scary shit. That's something
Yeah,
that
and
you wish no
when
parent would
when
go
they
through.
actually released Nathan, they're like, okay, he should be good now. They handed him back to me. He stopped breathing again.
Oh, hell.
So I'm like, I don't think this is right. The doctor grabs him and just like starts beating on his chest. And I'm watching this, and it's just, this is like this surreal moment. I'm watching my kid die right in front of me. I was holding him. He wasn't breathing. And, so it's just, but you adapt. You have to be strong because everybody's looking for your reaction. But, that's what we did.
Did you give yourself that time to not be strong after that?
Not in front of anybody.
You can't.
No, when I went home eventually.
By yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Garrett. He did that on purpose. God damn it.
Stupid ass Escalade. There's no reason an Escalade should sound like a Ford. Canadians.
So similar but different story. Lauren, she was months old, was crying and for hours, and we couldn't figure it out. Took her to the hospital. Long story short, she was born with meningitis B.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've ever seen like a month old, my daughter, a baby. The doctor, nurses folded her in half, right? Because she's a tiny baby, folding her in half, holding her to do a spinal tap. And we're sitting there watching that. And they had to take fluid out of her spine to figure out what she had. And it was meningitis. Thank God she's fine and over that. But it was like, that's, to your point, that's like afterwards, once everything's clear, you kind of break down and then you're like, okay, let's do this. We got to make sure this doesn't.
I remember Brandon's joints in his hands and everything were so swollen that they couldn't get an IV in him.
Wow.
So this doctor goes, well, I guess we're going to have to go in through the forehead.
No shit.
And I was standing there, I go, rethink that. And he's like, what? I go, you're not putting an IV in his forehead. He's like, that's where we're going to, I go, find a vein. Because there was something that told me that wasn't right.
legs,
I'm
or
telling a
something,
doctor what to do. But they ended up finding the vein.
Wow.
Where were you during my heart surgery, huh?
I was there.
Yeah. Well, they put I went in for heart surgery, and they put the IV in my hand and taped it to my finger. So when I started going under, my hands relaxed and it pulled the IV. So I woke up during heart surgery.
Wow.
So I woke up with everything in my heart. I could feel it.
How old were you?
I was probably
were in
20,
college.
21, 22.
Yeah,
But
I remember that story.
that movie, that Awake movie, boy, but I think what we're talking about is these moments that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
That develop your character.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not all the straightforward things that develop your character. Yeah. Being, making the right decisions and being responsible and being a person of good character. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But then tossing that over.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something, Frank, that you've lived through that's something similar? I know we're just swapping kind of
No, that's
hospital
right.
stories
No,
here.
at a very young age, when Ava first started eating, she started choking. And we went to the pediatrician a week prior to that. And I don't know why I asked this question, but I said, if she chokes, what do I do?
Wow.
And she gave me instructions. And a week later, Ava was choking on her food. And I panicked, but I had to pull myself together. And I took her over, held her on her belly and just pounded on her back. And the food came out, thank God, but it was scary. You know, you just gotta you have to keep calm and do what you have to do.
You just can't feed newborns pork chops. I mean, that's, I learned that with Brandon. Nathan, he wanted it. He wanted
grapes. It was full grapes for me, right? Yeah, choking on full grapes.
I'm honestly sitting here thinking, this is my first foreign affair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
This
And I'm
cigar
wondering why.
is flipping spectacular.
Because these dickheads smoked them all.
Is that why?
No, we got a ton of them in. Poof, gone.
Yeah.
So I ordered more. They came in. And because of some stuff that we're going to do this month in June, I just ordered another load to come in right behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already?
I was so excited when I first came here on last Sunday to see the cigars on the shelf, and they were all gone. And it was a special feeling for me.
I felt horrible.
Good.
I felt terrible.
I felt terrible.
I was bitching at Pops on Saturday morning going, where is all of
You
this?
don't want to see
To
a
me,
bunch
it
of
was-
full boxes that have been there for a couple
it was
months.
good news. It meant people liked it, people enjoyed it.
It's kind of a cool thing. You see your product, something, your baby, right?
Yeah.
Sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
But to not see it there because it all sold out,
Yeah. It was.
that's a different
I
feeling,
didn't
right?
expect
It's
that at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the difference of a baby, right? A baby, it's 9 months, you hold a baby, you understand it's a process.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the blending and the aging and the running through the process and developing just the artwork and then fighting the printers to get the artwork done, because I'm sure this is cigar rings. I'm sure that was a whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go to the box and the whole thing,
It was a lot. Yeah.
right? It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
years,
Yeah.
right? I
Well, it took
don't
us
know.
a year. Just
It took
about a year.
a full
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And that's with Luciano at your hip.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Best case scenario
Best case.
You're right.
with premium tobacco, ready to roll, great blender, good relationships, a year.
Yep.
It's a lot
No,
of work.
the crazy thing is it could have been done faster. You would have went to some factory in the Dominican. They would have had something in stock. They would have had you try 3 or 4 cigars they had in stock. They would have sold them to you for 80 cents and off you went.
Yep.
And then they weren't done fermenting and the mess takes place afterwards and you're sitting there with a garage full of cigars.
Yep.
You know, that's you definitely connected with the right person.
I got so lucky, and I couldn't ask for a better mentor and partner than Luciano.
No.
Thank you. It's incredible. Who are some of the people who mean the most to you, Frank?
Yeah, I'm very close to my family. I have a great relationship with my parents. My sister, even my younger sister, when she went to college, she moved down from New Jersey to Florida, and she lived with me. And her and I got very close. Alejandra, obviously. You know, I've been so fortunate. My whole family, my sister's husband. I have amazing friends. I've been so blessed. So blessed.
So do you talk about the fact that you have a relationship with somebody that basically created the cigar space?
Oh,
And Marvin?
Marvin Shankin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while. Yeah. That's another person. Like Marvin's like a father figure to me. I used to caddy for him. I still do, actually, 4 or 5 days a week. And I've just been blessed to pick his brain and just beyond cigars. He teaches me life lessons on a daily basis. I just spoke to him for advice a couple days ago, and totally not cigar related, just life in general. And he's been
Mentor,
amazing.
basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
He if not for him, the whole craze in the 90s and the creation of the Cigar Aficionado magazine, it just made people want to smoke cigars.
Yeah.
You know,
Made
and
it
it was
cool.
just, it made it cool. And then you had Rush and you had these other guys that were doing it and they were close with Marvin and Jordan's doing it and The Sopranos is hot and all that stuff is happening. And it's just incredible. So,
It really is.
yeah. Marvin definitely revolutionized the cigar space for
did.
sure.
That's
I used
awesome.
to read his magazine before I met him in high school, and used to read it religiously. And when I finally got to meet him, I couldn't believe it. So it's been, my life has been incredible at such a young age.
Yeah.
How
All
old are
because
you?
of this.
Yeah, how the
36.
36.
Okay.
Wait,
All right,
you,
yeah.
you keep talking about us being young, but he's older than you.
age is relative. I feel fucking old, man. What am I gonna do?
I know.
My back hurts.
Three
What am I
kids.
gonna do? Yeah, I got 3 kids and my back hurts.
You don't look 36, so
Yeah.
take
yeah.
that. Take that. Yeah.
Well done with the whole Cuban and Italian and
yeah.
what
Puerto
other?
Rican, yeah.
What else is it?
Puerto Rican.
Cuban, Puerto Rican, Italian.
Yeah.
What a mix.
That's a good. That's,
What a
that's a
mix.
good spread on the dinner table.
Yep.
It's really interesting because has Pops spoken to you about what our 10-year vision is?
I don't believe so.
Just kind of scratched it.
Is this valuable?
Oh,
I've not heard this.
I hope this isn't crossing lines for me to say this, but
It's our goal, so it's our vision.
yeah, this is our vision, right? We operate under the EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, which is a godsend, and it makes things very clear. Makes your yeah. Okay, so Traction. If you're a business owner, you need to read Traction. It will change the way your life operates. It's unbelievable.
I don't know this traction stuff, man.
And that's why your
I'll
company
talk
is
to you
just a
off the air.
rudderless ship.
Yes.
We have a rudder, we're heading right for the bank.
But at the end of it, it's you have to get everyone on the same page for your 10-year BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. Our goal is we want to land Cigar Aficionado. That is, for us, the pinnacle. That is the North Star. We all operate from a day-to-day perspective. The reason why your ashtray is going to be clean, your air is going to be clean, your toilets are going to be clean, because that's what the finest cigar lounge experience means.
yeah.
And at some point, someone of Marvin's stature is going to see it and experience it and go, we need this. We need to write about this. And we need to do what we need to do behind the scenes
We need to
one
earn
day
a
earn
spot.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yep.
sure.
So every day we wake up thinking, how are we going to earn Cigar Aficionado? And it's really, I want to disconnect that just a little bit because I don't want to muddy the water of our experience with you, your connection with Marvin, because that's neither here nor there. For those people who are watching, if you had a chance to spend any time with Frank, you would see that his cigars are nothing but just full of love and passion. And
Thank you.
find one. Find one close to you. Find one with us. Find one wherever
Go
you can
online
find
and
one.
get them. We've
Smoke
got them.
It's beautiful. It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
What you've created is remarkable.
And their first at bat.
Oh, it wasn't just me alone though. It was Michael.
No, I
and Luciano.
get that. I get that. I get that. But it's like you decided to play baseball, but you had, some major baseball player teach you how to play the game before you took your first swing.
Yep.
And there's a lot of companies that we have helped launch on our floor, and we've watched them get better. But we knew on their first at bat, not bad for your first shot, it's going to get better. And in some of those cases, it definitely has. But you guys come out of the gate with this foreign affair like this, stop it. I mean, it's incredible.
And if the next one comes out, if the next line you come out with is something that created during Wednesday Wind Down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this. You haven't done a Wednesday Wind Down.
You gotta.
No,
do it.
yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know you've done
This
that.
is your
before.
first cigar?
Yeah. First cigar.
It's crazy. It has sophistication and depth.
Yeah.
It doesn't hammer you with pepper.
No.
It just lets you taste the spectacular,
Yeah.
this incredible tobacco. It's just awesome.
Oh, I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
For those of you who are watching, make sure to throw out a question in the comments as well, because we do have Evan and we do have Wayne who's sitting here, and if it's good enough, they'll throw it out.
Now we do have we have an addict, a proclaimed addict that's actually watching, which is our new friend Eric.
Oh yeah. He's the best.
Oh, Eric's in?
Eric is addicted to Texas Twinkies from Hutchins.
Me too. It was incredible.
It's crazy, but he's ready to go to Texas Twinkie rehab, which I told him is in Frisco, and we'll give him the meat sweats, and he'll have to work his way through it. But yeah, he what a great guy.
Oh, he's awesome. And
That you guys would both, if you came in and we spent the day with you, you would be admitted into our private lounge that day. There's no other evaluation that has to happen.
Eric, do I know Eric?
Eric was in on Saturday.
yeah. Professional caddy.
Oh, he was with you
Yeah, yeah.
last.
Oh yeah,
Gary Kelly.
he was here as well.
Yeah,
So we need to introduce him to Mark Sharon, who was the creator of the
Texas
Twinkie.
He was a creator of the Texas
Mark
Twinkie.
created that, gave them their recipe, and they took off with it. But however, I've had both the Texas Twinkie, which is Hutchins, and I've had Mark's.
Mark's is better.
Mark's is way better.
I can't even picture.
Mark's
I can't
barbecue
imagine-
sauce is better.
Okay.
Everything about Mark's barbecue is way better.
Okay.
Just to get back on track with Eric, I think I was telling you, Evan, last night. Eric, if you're watching,
He is. He just texted me.
I told Evan, I never got the chance to tell Eric that I looked up to him. He was my mentor without even knowing it in professional caddying. I got lucky enough to be paired with him in a few rounds, and he's just such an amazing caddy, and the length of time that he's been with Jerry Kelly is proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
17 years, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
crazy.
always looked up to him as a caddy and as a person. He's an amazing guy.
So how do you select the people you're running around with? Because the caddy world, I think everyone has a question. How do you make a living as a caddy?
Yeah, so usually your player pays you a weekly salary, which usually just covers your expenses, your plane, your car, your hotel, and then they give you a percentage of their earnings. So like this week, we missed the cut. I basically worked for free this week, just expenses. But if you make the cut, then you're getting a percentage of the earnings, which if you have a great player, you're going to make really good money. And if you don't have a player that's playing well, then you're going to lose money.
What kind of percentages does a caddy make?
Every deal is different. I think the most common deal is 10% for a win, 8% of all the other earnings. So
That's significant.
You can make some serious,
absolutely.
serious
Especially
money.
nowadays on the PGA Tour. There's some caddies I know that are making millions of dollars.
Shit.
Whoa.
Says he also has guns.
Eric
yeah.
chiming in. He's got guns.
Maybe Eric.
Eric's got
Next
guns.
week,
Yes.
we're putting that mic up there for you over there.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed sitting with Eric. I mean, he's a
he's
bullshitter.
awesome.
He's one of us. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just
amazing stories, and he's awesome. Just a fun guy to hang out with.
He asked if you could tell the story about how you met your
Will you tell the story of how you met your girlfriend?
Yeah. So I was supposed to go on a date, and I came home from work, and I was tired, and my roommate he asked me to get a few drinks, and I said no, I'm tired, I just want to relax before my date, and he finally dragged me out. I don't know how he convinced me, but he convinced me, and I just got done giving him a speech when we're at this bar called Square Grouper, about how if you see something, you have to go after it, you have to go get what you want. And then I see these two girls walk in the bar, and I said, wow, look at that girl, she's beautiful. And he's like, okay, mister, go after what you want, let me see it. And I was like, oh man.
Do as I say, not as I. Yeah.
But I had to do what I preached, and I'm so happy I did. I walked up to her, introduced myself, and fell in love that night. Didn't go on my date, and now we have a beautiful daughter together.
Nice.
Incredible. And her name is Ali.
Yeah, just
Ali.
like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Her name is Ali.
Well, Chris Coulter's making some beautiful comments about the ICC experience. What's your experience been since you've been here? And I think also spend a couple minutes and talk about your experience in Wednesday Wind Down.
Yeah, so I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was just walking into another cigar lounge. I didn't expect to get the welcoming that I got from the whole entire staff and from you guys, and I felt at home immediately. My plan was to go to different cigar lounges, and I found myself here till midnight with you every single night, the whole week. But
That's
this
typical.
place, yeah. But this place, even the members and the customers, I've made so many friends here in this short week. It's been an experience that I've never had before at a cigar lounge. And then you talk about the Wednesday Wind Down. That not only a cigar lounge, I've never had an experience like that in my life. And for those of you that don't know, on Wednesday nights they go into the conference room, they turn the lights off, and you have these red lights so your eyes don't dilate. Correct?
Right. That's right.
And there's no phone, no technology. You have to shut it off for 2 hours, and they play music. And during that experience, I was a little skeptical because I heard people saying how amazing it is and how it changed their life, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But I'll tell you what, if I had that at home, I'd be doing it every week. I didn't realize how cluttered my mind was until I was in that room alone with my thoughts in the dark. And 2 hours is the perfect amount of time because it didn't feel like 2 hours. It felt a lot shorter.
It feels super fast.
But it allowed me to reach at every single thing in my mind and either come up with a solution or just put it away a little bit. And my mind was so clear after that night.
Yeah, the concept of decluttering your mind as it is a closet, right? Because there's probably all these things that we get used to, right? You just step over the clothes over there and you move over there and you kind of leave that. But then when you get a chance to shine a flashlight at it, well, let's move this over there. What are some of the things that you guys do to declutter your own mind? Adrian, what do you do? It doesn't seem like you live with a cluttered mind.
I don't. I'm super, just like everything has its place, right? So if it was me living on my own, everything would be just in its place and I'd have this like perfect house. Unfortunately, I don't. I have a wife that feels like, I'm going to leave some shoes over here.
I'll get to it later.
Yeah.
I've heard that for 25 years,
So
almost daily.
Same boat, and I've just
better hope your wives are watching.
She's gonna be watching.
She's probably watching, but I'm accustomed to that now, and it's like it took me a while to kind of figure that out. However, I've tried the Wednesday wind down, and it was great, loved it. But the weird thing about me is like I don't like silence. I need either conversation or just music or even stimulation, like headphones. To me, if I put on headphones and just like, even if it's like acid rock or just whatever kind of just weird music, not weird music like Ted.
No, that's weird. Now
That's weird. But
Weirdos say
Gunshots,
say it's weird.
I go to sleep with that. Yeah,
it's
that's
like the Big Lebowski's listening to just the sound of bowling. You're just going to gunshots.
And it's honestly just background noise, and I need that background noise for me to declutter. I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
Well, Evan and I had a unique conversation that some people might stay up later than they should until their body shuts off, right? Because they're kind of running away from their demons.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about that. Man, how many people don't want the silence because they don't want the noise to make its way to the consciousness? Do you think it's that, or is it different?
I would probably freak the fuck out if I was in a deprivation chamber. There's no way I could do that. No way. Kathleen, she could probably do that, and she enjoys silence and just meditation and all that stuff, and just complete silence. I cannot do that.
It's interesting.
I don't know.
So your mission when it comes to decluttering your mind, it's by don't letting the clutter set up in the first place.
Yeah.
Are you similar that way? I know your ass isn't, because I'm like you. We just let the pile grow up.
Just let the pile grow up. Just dig it in deep down inside.
No.
And we'll deal with it when we get to the crazy farm.
Yep. I was telling Evan, like, when I used to caddy professionally, and before I had a daughter and a business, I had a lot of alone time. I would, if I was traveling to another tournament 4 or 5 hours away, I would drive there, and you get alone time by yourself, and that's your time to think about things and process things. But nowadays, with a kid, work, cigar business, I don't have alone time anymore, and I've never had that happen to me. I didn't realize how cluttered my brain became because I don't have alone time, and I think that's why I enjoy it. I love smoking cigars with people. I love the camaraderie, but smoking a cigar alone by myself sometimes, you kind of need it.
For sure. I need it every day. I have to. When my fingers are in this position, it tells my brain it's all good.
Relaxed, yeah.
It's just something about that just tells me maybe this is my pacifier. It's my binky.
It's a little bit of a fear of my own, because I feel now that it's kind of like the wave hits, you hold your breath, you come up, the wave hits, but it feels like the waves are getting closer together. And I can see myself tracking to where you're at, where it feels like the waves are hitting you so frequently that you have to just grab the cigar, grab this, or do you feel like you're on the hamster wheel? Like you're just always, okay, give me that breath, because I don't know how long this breath is going to last?
Yeah, I think just today was 7 to 5, nonstop, 10 minutes for lunch. Realizing I didn't get up until I got up, and just stiff and tight and everything else. But that goes so fast, trying to juggle, keeping plate spinning. that if I just don't beeline to that and somebody's between me and the cigar at the end of the day, it's just not going to go well. I just got to get to that point. Begley, God bless her. She knows when there's a look, and that look is, why don't you go to the cigar lounge?
Yeah.
And I get told that all the time. But that's that bitter beer face that I'm wearing. That is, you need to go fix whatever you got going on in your head.
But you're saying all that, and you probably don't know this. I was texting him most of the morning, asking for advice, asking him questions, and like nothing. He was like, "Yep, check this out. I did this research and check, read this." And you basically.
I was doing it while I was on a Zoom call, but I wasn't listening to these guys. So I was doing property tax searches in Reeves County.
I would never know the difference, though. I mean, and that's just a great mentor and just person that day was.
I would much rather help you than listen to them.
How much weight do you carry on your shoulders?
Oh my God!
Now today, quite a bit. Maybe
How much weight do you think you could throw from your shoulders?
I don't know. I've given myself permission to think about that. Just do it.
It's part of being a man.
Yeah. And I just
carry that shit. I do.
Just
Carry it.
Yeah.
Rock it.
And it's God, do we really ever give it a second thought? You just you do it. The old saying, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you got to do. And was I hoping at 60? How old am I? 61 or 62? 61 or 62. I don't really know. But I thought it would be a glide path at this point, but it's not. But that's okay.
But is that what you wanted in the first place? Did you want a glide path?
No.
Could you glide?
I want to. No, I can't.
No.
But I would like to do this as my 7 or 8 hours of the day, and then mess with the other stuff. We'll get there. Yeah. We're on the verge of being at a point where the volume will afford us the ability to put people in here that we can trust. We'll take care of it. Then I can enjoy the place.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's all
I'm not
in the
worried about it.
process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we're right now, Frank, we are blissfully in the suck. Enjoy it. It's a lot. It's heavy. I think you and I probably carry the most weight on our shoulders. Blissfully and happily, because that's our role.
I do take great pride in watching the videos when you're spending time with the family on the weekend, and I watch the videos where you're buying the kids ice cream and things like that. You're still stopping to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, you did it. You did it. You coached us in youth sports. You developed who we were. You took the time. We knew you were stressed. You had the conversations with us. We knew what stress looked like. We knew when we were fighting upstairs and we blew out the light bulbs downstairs because we were fighting. Then you came up and screamed at us. I remember the time specifically. We understood what that meant, and it's something that I carry today, and I try to do it. Frank, your work comes outside the house.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you don't carry the same weight that we do, which is you got to get it done, but you got to also not blow up at your kids.
Oh yeah.
Is that the life that you've designed? Is that something that has just happened? Where every time you walk in the door, you're in the house, Ava's going, Dad is just so cool. Or is that something that happened on accident?
Just on accident. I learned a lot from my father and how he was with me and my sister. And I honestly just try to be as much of my dad to my daughter,
I'll echo that. What are the things that, what are the concepts that make you your dad?
He, no matter how busy he was or no matter how tired he was, he'd always make time for us. He'd always play with us. And at the time, I was a kid. I didn't know he was tired. I didn't understand what stress was. All the finances. But looking back now, I understand. He always made time for us, and he was always supportive. He wasn't one of those dads that, like, if I wanted to chase golf. Most parents would be like, come on, what are the odds of you making it professionally? But he was supportive. Both my parents, they never talked me out of doing anything that I wanted to do. So I just hope I could be that way with my daughter.
I remember when you said you were going to go into business, start your own business, calling on small independent, small companies, local. We're going to build the business. My mind was saying, don't do it. But I knew that the best thing to do was just say, it's not going to happen as fast as you want.
Yeah.
And it never does.
Never does.
And
Here we sit in the fuselage,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Never happens as fast as we want.
Right.
Right. It'll come. It'll come. The only downside with having daughters is they like dance and ballet and shit.
I thought you were going to say dating when they grow up, but
Oh, that's everyone's fear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But when Alessia says the other day, yeah, I want to be a ballerina. I see what you're saying there. Pretty cool. You could also take over the family business if you want to. It's this.
She's like, well, okay, well, I'll just do both.
Yeah, we'll do both. All right, whatever. As long as you're into cigars, you're cool. You're cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always so interesting because there are times where we have guests who are here who have young kids that I can relate to, and then successful older kids,
Yeah.
right? With their and you try to find that balance of, I think everyone has something to learn from everyone else, regardless of their situation in life.
That's where the Cigar Lounge comes in so much, in that it allows you, like you said, being around like-minded people.
Yeah.
One thing I do know, everybody here that's a dad wants to be the best dad that they can be. And maybe they've gone down a path that somebody's going down now. And what did you do when you wanted to just throw that kid in the backseat of the car and leave the restaurant? What did you do? Try to do it so it didn't look like they needed to call the police. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Haul them out to the car so they don't call the police.
Where do you find yourself now when it comes to your own vulnerabilities, Frank? What are some of the things that keep you up at night?
Obviously stress, day-to-day stress.
Is that more cigar side? Is that financial side? Is it golf side? Where does that
A
live?
little bit of everything, a little bit of everything. And just, I was never a person that worried, but now that I have a daughter, I constantly worry. I'm so afraid if she'll fall or if she'll run and trip or choke. It's just changed me as a person tremendously.
Do you look back at those times and realize, why did I worry?
I still worry. She's 27 now, and you still worry. It's a different type of worry.
How so?
Well, because the world is different, right? And it's not that she's going to do anything wrong. It's just like, what are the other people in this, country going to do, right?
Yeah.
You just never know. So whatever. Car accident, little things like car accident, to just whatever, just people being road rage and shit like that. So I worry about that stuff.
Physical danger.
She's well armed, but still.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
You still worry about kids getting hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
At 27, 34.
Oh,
Physical danger.
yeah. Even my
Even
son.
emotional
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always worry about your kids getting hurt.
Do you worry about that as well, about kids getting hurt?
Well, you guys are big boys.
I don't
No,
worry.
we're not going to get hurt in a fight. I can promise you that.
No, I don't. I have great peace of mind right now in that I know that the kids are being watched constantly. Your kids. So I don't have a fear. I could think, man, if the tables were turned and you guys were, those types of parents that kids are an inconvenience and you leave your kids to be raised by babysitters and all the other stuff, then that's when crazy things happen. I'm at peace there. With you guys, I was never worried about it. You guys took a path where you didn't want to do booze and all that shit in high school, and it never was part of your culture. what you guys wanted, what you guys did. So I never really worried about it. I took great pride in the fact that when somebody in high school would get drunk, they would call you and you would go get them. You were the guy that was more saving them than anything. I think you instituted a policy where if somebody got in trouble in high school football, you would discipline them with what was it, the weight
Gassers.
oh, with the gassers, and just let them know you're letting the team down. You didn't rely on the coach. So that to me is a form of leadership that goes a long ways. And I know that, it's the way you guys are going to operate your life. You've never been followers. So for me, that gives me peace of mind for sure.
Great boys.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's raised good sons with a good moral compass. We all have our challenges, as always, but I know who the Frakes boys are, and
You can tell.
yeah, they're it's a great family.
So I will just switch gears a little bit and go back to at the beginning of the week when you saw the cigars here, and you admitted that you had used the word insecurity when people were smoking your cigar, and you were hoping that we're going to like it.
Yeah,
Did this week help you there?
it did, big time. And I still get insecure when people try the cigar, even though I've had so much positive feedback. I just want everyone to love this cigar. We put so much work into this cigar, and you just want people to love it, And even though I got a lot of positive feedback this week, I'm still going to be a little insecure when I hand it to a person that's never tried it.
Well, I mean, part of that is here's the owner of this brand, and what do you expect, right? No one's going to tell you like, you know what, it's not that great.
Yeah.
You're going to hear positive
That's true.
feedback for sure, but yeah, it's one of those things where I mean, I don't have a cigar brand necessarily, but it's like I would have that same insecurity where it's like, do you like my cigar? Is it good?
Yeah.
Do you like it as much as I do?
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of your mind, I would assume that's probably what you're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're frank about it. So
Oh yeah,
You can ask, you can ask Jamon about that one.
There's a couple of manufacturers that, we told them what we thought, and then they thought that we didn't have good palates. So
they're probably not on the shelf anymore.
they never got to
never
the
made
shelf.
Honestly, Frank, you wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't think this is
I appreciate
a
that.
great cigar. Not just because the Frakes like it, but when these guys like it and those guys, there's a reason why you're sitting here.
It's just to start with a cigar that is perfect medium profile. It just is the definition of a great medium cigar, tons of flavor, and that is where the masses will go. And there's guys that are out trying to kill people with these super strong cigars. That is a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah.
Don't need to chase it. There's only enough room for a couple guys in there. Let them go do that shit.
Yep.
The masses want this.
Yep.
I could give this.
Flavor lies, right?
I could give it to a first-time smoker. I could give it to a very, very, Wayne is mature palate, likes a heavier cigar, but I would have no problem putting him into that cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. When people look at a darker wrapper, right? They think,
they assume.
oh, it's harsh. It's gonna be strong. I'm a Connecticut, very light shade type. No, try this. Oh, and again, this is my first one.
It's good.
And going back to
It's
insecurity,
Yeah.
I think a little insecurity is a good thing because it's going to drive you to make the best possible product
For
that
sure.
you can.
But is it not also distraction? Right? So you've had a week of very educated palates, smoked a cigar, have given you good feedback.
Yeah.
But aren't you also looking for the person who doesn't like it?
Yeah, I want honest feedback. I want honest people around me at all times, and my circle has become a lot smaller. I only surround myself around people that I trust, and I know that will be honest with me, even if it's something I don't want to hear.
We talked about
Yeah.
Brandon's theory of 1 and zeros.
Oh yeah,
How you learn more from the people that don't like the product.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
will you talk about the concept of ones and zeros, how you learn from the people who don't like your product?
Obviously you can't please everybody. It's impossible. But I listen to negative feedback and I take notes, mental notes, and I'll try my best I can to fit needs of everyone, but you can't please everybody. You know, it's impossible. But I respect negative feedback because it's necessary to grow.
We're unique in that when people come into the humidor and they'll throw out a cigar that we've immediately judged them. You know, I mean, we've just, you threw out what your favorite is, and I went, oh, well.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
But with a smile on, we will say, what do you like about that cigar? What is it that you like about it? Instead of going, seriously, that's what you smoke?
Yeah.
But what do you like about it? And usually you find out what they like is really not what was in the cigar that they said was their favorite. So if you can get them a cigar that goes towards their description versus what they're used to, usually that's a huge eye opener.
Yeah. But is it not about asking the question? Right? You can disagree with someone on something, but until you ask the question to identify what their baseline is, now you can start that conversation, right? And I think that's where cigars maybe could bridge a gap. You know, if everyone in Congress had a cigar right at the beginning, maybe they start asking some questions. You know, and I think that's probably a very important thing to what we do is ask questions and find out who are they? Who do they want to be? What do they like out of their cigar? You know, all of the topical things or some of the easier questions. But, you know, that's something that I toss over to you is, who do you want to be? The easy questions.
It's not easy by any means. I want to be.
He does this shit all the time.
Yeah, he does. I want to be a culmination of my circle. The people I'm around with, and just I want to take a piece of Pops. I want to take a piece of you, a piece of, you know, Ron, fucking Evan, all these dudes here. You know, just, all of y'all. Because, I wouldn't handshake and hug any of y'all if I didn't like you. And you'll know, there's some dudes that I don't do that with because I'm a little standoffish because I don't have that connection. But I want to be a culmination of just 5% of everyone that's in the circle.
I think there's a reality in life. I think there's a reality in life with guys that you get to know in time. AJ and I have been around the block more than most. At some point in time, people show their ass, show who they really are. And sometimes that's disappointing.
So give anyone enough time and they'll show their ass.
They give somebody enough time, they will show their ass. And it is sometimes it's disappointing when you find out you misread somebody.
Yeah.
You thought they were the whatever they were presenting, and then boom, see their ass. Okay. Yep. That's not the guy that I thought it was.
Yeah. Who?
What? Shut the fuck up, Ron.
Are you saying you met her?
Yeah,
she's so super phenomenal. Yes,
yeah, Ron Hancock over here talking about Taylor Swift, saying how he's going to her concert. You're coming up. She puts on a good show. What can we say? I don't know.
I thought George Michael was straight. I didn't know. I just thought he was an awesome dancer.
No, but truly, that's a great answer, right? Because that's a bigger answer.
Yeah.
Than anything, which is you really want to surround yourself with the people who you want to become.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And that's something I'll toss over to you, Frank. It's like, who do you want to be? How do you want to be explained?
I don't think about how I want to be explained to people, but internally, I think about who I want to be, and that's just an honest guy who continues to learn and grow. I was telling Evan today, like, I don't like people that think they know it all. You know, you could always learn from anybody. You're never above anybody.
Always learning too.
And you have to learn and grow as a person, and you're gonna have a lot of mistakes on the way there. But I just want to be an honest person, a good person with a good heart, and obviously a good father, a good partner, and just a person that continuously grows in life.
I mean, think about the people he's around every day. You know, Michael Jordan and Marvin Shankin, and
ever heard of him?
But I mean, he's around people that are just they win.
They're culture setters.
Yeah, for sure.
Globally.
And they're all humble.
very humbled, and that's
MJ is a humble guy.
Well, I'm sure he's
Intense, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm sure inside he's very, very confident. Maybe a little bit more than confident, but outside, the exterior, he's very humble. You know, he treats everyone with respect, and that's something to learn from.
Look, when you get to that level, I mean, there's got to be some, like, there's got to be a different mindset to get to where that level is, right?
Yeah.
But to say, and I've never hung out with MJ at all, but to say, for you to say that he's humble and know that he's at the level that he is, I mean, give me a break. I mean, if everyone was like that,
Yeah.
we'd be in a better place.
Absolutely.
for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. Some people just put on a show all day long.
Oh, for sure.
Just all day long.
Yeah, and we know some of those people.
Yeah.
And you just kind of put up with them, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah, but it's easy to discount.
Sure.
But it adds tremendous value to find out the greatest of all time is a humble guy at heart.
Absolutely.
Obviously intense. Obviously.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
of course.
You cannot get to that degree of greatness without
Oh,
being
I
intense.
guarantee he gets on the first tee. All he's thinking about is taking everybody's money.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's how it should be.
So he flips the switch, and it is, now it's competition, and he probably starves for that competition. But yeah, it's. I think humble is such a great attribute.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely underrated, I would say, because some of those high level people that you think are, they're successful, they, have this, monetary, cars, whatnot, but are they humble? A lot of them are not. Unfortunately.
Does that play into insecurities? Those people who live on the things they have and the shit they've bought
I don't know
versus the things they've accomplished.
I don't
Is
know
that
if
not
it's
insecurity?
insecurity. I think it's just like, this is because social media has put a big,
It rewards it.
it's like a bullseye, right? It's like, this is my social media, platform, and this is who I am. And when you meet that person in real life, it's like, are you really that person, or really, and are they humble or not?
It's interesting
probably
because
not.
you have a significant social media,
I-
right?
I-
And
I mean,
also humble.
But
I want-
I mean, I'm minute compared to like the other people that are out there.
Right.
And I've met many people in the both cigar and gun industry. Gun industry is totally different. It's like a few of the guys that I've met, it's like, yeah, I met you, and me saying you're my favorite, whatever, gun tuber or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, I met you once. I was drunk though. It's like, really, bro? That's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you kind of check them off your list. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
No. But what you want to hear is that the greatness is also approachable.
Yep.
For sure.
For sure. It doesn't mean they're without haters.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Plenty of haters.
Yeah.
For sure.
The greatest quote you've ever said.
It's from MJ.
From MJ.
It's from MJ.
Which is, I've never met a hater that's
Better
doing
than me.
better than me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? It's,
Hate's usually from jealousy.
yeah. I just feel like it's maybe the right time to just judge you.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of not fair because you were here last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
This
Yep.
is about the time you walked in last
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
I would like to know before we get started, and this is one of the things that we used to do with the Judgment Zone. So, Frank, this is the first question that
right
is
into
not related to the big three, but what is your spirit animal?
That is something I've never, ever thought of.
Okay, well, you got 3 seconds.
Should we give it to him?
Should we tell him what his spirit animal is?
We did that once.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
works better. Maybe that's.
I think we gave you yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Himmel gave me mine.
Yeah.
Someone gave me mine. I'm like, shit.
And Larry Adams bought me a shirt that said Stag on it, Stag beer.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so which I wear all the time.
Yeah. You got me one that said Radio Shack. That's an inside story too.
Yeah, he got me a knife.
Talk about a guy that puts on a show.
He got me Yeah, you got me a gherkin knife too. Thanks, Larry Adams.
Yeah.
That's an awesome knife, though. Actually,
Decent knife.
yeah,
Still
better
my
than a
tribe.
cigar for sure.
So, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if you smoke the cigar, you're supposed to stab
Okay,
yourself.
so then,
Just
Japanese-
shame yourself.
I didn't know it was a Japanese.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that'll be the first one for this evening. Is what is Frank's spirit animal?
We have a falcon in the comments.
A falcon.
Falcon. I like that.
Yeah,
That's actually really good.
that's probably what you saw with the snake fucking that you almost hit.
I think I got a falcon.
Yeah.
I almost hit him. Yeah, I won't bore these people with that stupid story. I saw Texas living the other day. What do you think is his spirit animal?
A badger.
Why is that?
They're fucking fierce, dude. Badger will, I mean, similar to, yeah, they'll kill shit, I mean, whatever. They're
Okay.
small and
all right,
nimble,
all right.
but they're fucking dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
God, I'm stuck between a couple of
ahead,
pretty
just
wild animals.
Throw him out.
Well, no, that one's not fitting.
All right. Think about that. I've got him as a puma.
Puma, just a slow creeper.
I see him like lingering in the darkness. You don't see him coming. He's quiet. He's at the distance you go, wow, yeah, all right, this guy's got his shit together. I'm not gonna mess with it. He's pretty sure of himself. But then if the lights go off, this dude is coming after it.
I mean,
I think he's a puma.
honestly, if I see a puma from across, I'm getting the fuck out.
Right?
But if I see a badger, it's like, that's kind of cute. And then it'll fuck you up.
Yeah. He'll get you by the nuts, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cute. Yeah.
Oh man.
Tell me he's not cute.
He's a
Come on.
handsome fella.
Yeah, he is. I mean, you wouldn't be on the
He's a
show if he
handsome
wasn't.
looking- Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're not bringing people on the show to pull us down.
That's right.
Yeah, net average.
I-
where are you at?
I'm leaning towards now, but his stature doesn't fit it. That's the problem. But kind of a hippo. Just a hippo. You
Always
know that if a
smiling.
hippo spoke English, the only thing that's going through its head is, "I wish you would." Just go on, fuck with me.
Yep.
But I just see him walking through. Just everything's good.
Yeah.
But
Kill
go
you
on,
with a
mess with
smile.
me. I watched this video with this hippo, and there's a freaking adult lion sitting on the edge of this lake, and that hippo said, "Nope, not today, Junior."
Yes.
And he went up on that thing and just whooped that lion's ass.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the lion's just smacking it, and that hippo is like, "I wish you would."
I gotta follow the channels you follow.
I'm telling you, man.
Solid.
Speaking of that, this dude's got a live video that he shot on a golf course in Florida.
Yep.
And bald eagle, obviously the bobcat didn't know it's a protected species, but this bobcat attacks this bald eagle, drug its ass over, and with the bald eagle in its mouth, hops over a 4-foot fence like it was nothing.
Ron said Bobcat in the comments.
Bobcat. I could see Bobcat.
Or the lynx.
Where's Big?
I don't know if he's not as majestic as a lynx. I'm pretty sure the Bobcat
I'm not
is
that
good
majestic.
because he's an everyman's man. Like
Yeah.
you could just hang with him. You know, a lynx you only see one in your lifetime.
Yeah. I guess hippos are by themselves a lot because they've done messed with everybody.
They done mess with everybody. What do you think your spirit animal is?
I honestly don't know. And I don't like to give myself nicknames or spirit animals. I just
This could be your third cigar line that you released, though.
Yeah.
We know what the next one is.
Yep.
Maybe it's the
hippo.
third one. Badger.
The hippo.
The hippo.
Hippo badger. What do you got?
Foreign Affair follow-up cigar. Love of the Hippo. 6x80 by Polo.
6x80.
With massive Lajero.
Who was that?
Coulter.
Coulter.
oh man.
Oh, Coulter. Well done.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't give yourself. That seems very.
So you
Bobcat
are,
of
what is your spirit animal? I forgot.
I forgot too.
No, you're a panther.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, panther.
You're a panther,
Damn. See how?
And you're a stag.
and you're an eagle.
And I'm an eagle.
Getting killed by a fucking bobcat.
Kill my bobcat. Just what I thought I was. That's why I like staying at 30,000 feet, because you don't trust any of them bastards down there.
All right, so then 2 and 3 goes here for Judgment Zone.
Okay, so we saw them, Eric. We saw Eric and Frank over here laughing at our questions, but not really sure where they were going to go with them. I'm kind of leaning off of the Bigfoot. You know, maybe you're a Bigfoot and that's your spirit animal. You just don't want to admit it. But let's go to the two-parter. UFOs. Are UFOs here? Have they been here? Have they landed? Did they crash? And is there life in the universe? Before you answer, where are you guys at?
I'll answer.
Go.
Hey, take your time. It's just dead air. 8 and 10.
Plus 5, plus 5. Plus 5. Plus
8,
5.
10.
Plus 5.
He wants people to be a zero. So
He doesn't
bad.
believe in anything.
He just doesn't believe in anything.
1 and 4.
1, 4.
You're not going to make any friends in
Sub 5.
life.
All right.
It's all right. I'm
Bob's,
good with
where do you
that.
think he's at?
I'm going 7, firm 7, and 10.
I'll go 3-8.
3-8.
Yep. 3-8. Where you at?
I'm a 10-10.
Usually when you're out there at a 10, you've seen something.
I have.
There's a story.
Unlike Chris, but
Chris is full of shit. I don't believe Chris even a minute.
no. But if you think about how big this universe is, I mean, it's way bigger than we can even comprehend. There has to be life forms out there. Maybe not as advanced as us, or maybe more advanced than us, but I think there is something else out there.
And you also are a 10 on them visiting Earth.
I mean, if they're more advanced than us, why not?
Yeah. All right.
Dude, honestly, I've been trying to listen to these podcasts.
David Fravor. Come on, pay attention.
Not him. There was a guy I was listening to today. I think he was with Rogan, James Fox, I think, or maybe it was another podcaster. But anyways, this guy, he's been writing books and making documentaries since the 70s. And I'm listening to his stuff. I'm like,
Making money, dude.
geez, I can't get into it. And
Making money.
he's posting pictures of discs, and Joe Rogan's like, that's a hubcap.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I sent you a
get it.
podcast.
I haven't listened to it yet. I need to.
Well,
because he
I'll
knows
go
it'll
back to
change his
podcast.
mind.
He's afraid.
Yeah.
He's afraid. He's
no,
a
no,
closet
I'm
believer.
open. I'm trying to open my mind and expand.
Bullshit.
but
You didn't listen to that podcast. That was a good one.
That was like last year.
By the way, I was watching the NBA. I was watching that NBA game last night. The guy that's the director, the head of the NBA, what's his name?
the bald dude.
Yeah.
I don't know his
That
name,
dude's
but
an
yeah,
alien.
He looks like an alien.
He's
Yeah,
an
for
alien.
Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
Oh, you know what?
Whoever's the head of the NBA. Adam, yeah.
Yeah. So I
That
need
dude's
to,
an alien.
Yeah. So my nephew he just moved in with us from El Paso. He's
Orale.
like totally into redheads.
He is an alien.
Oh, that's an alien.
He's
Yeah.
into redheads.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And
All redheaded women
yeah,
are
so
aliens.
I've not had this
Fact.
conversation with him, but I need to he'll be here one day. He's not a cigar smoker, but I'm going to sit
Yeah.
here. He is going to start smoking cigars whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You want to take
got
the
a
final
dumpster.
judgment zone question?
Yeah. So where
Frank?
are we at? What was spirits?
Yeah.
Is this your first show?
Ghosts. Yes, it is. Two-parter.
Oh, you deserve the two-parter. You were here
Yeah,
you were here last
yeah.
week.
We're only giving
when
you
we
one
were
parter.
pissed off at Chris Pennington, so we only gave him a one-parter.
Yeah.
Two-parter is a term of endearment.
I like the two-parter because it could be total opposites, and it typically is. First part is ghost sheets with eye holes, cutting them, right? Kind of sneak around the corner.
This question's being asked by a zero.
By a non-believer, dude.
Yeah.
They don't all have the sheets with the holes kind of.
I mean,
He believes.
second part is spirits. Have you been visited by someone in the past? that, you know, maybe in a dream, that type of thing.
Dude's a non-believer. He shouldn't even ask this question.
I know.
That's why I always ask the Sasquatch.
The way he
one.
even asked it. Just
No, it's bullshit. Ghosts are physical.
you know, if you want to go ahead and
apparitions.
answer this, go ahead. But
Physical representations of the spirit
If you
world.
believe in
and
lights
then
flickering and
spirits.
shit, then, you know, where are you at there? We'll ask the crowd first.
All right.
Anyone
10.
else?
10s.
Ah, jeez. All right.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. We're all in.
I mean, this is like, again, I like this question because it's one is a possibility, the other one may not. So maybe like a 1 and a 8.
He lived in New Jersey for a long period of time, which was where the Men in Black were.
Yeah.
Just for the record,
Really? I thought they were in New Mexico.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
The first one, they were in New York. The
How
movie.
far is Jersey? How far is New York from where you're from?
Right, it's right across the water.
Right, yeah. Well, I was born in Hoboken, right across the river, but I grew up in South Jersey, about 2 hours.
Yeah,
All right.
It's a
Yeah.
ferry
All right.
and a-
I've been to
all right.
Subway
It's
before.
it's important geographical
Yeah.
question.
but I'm thinking it's been there for a long time. There's a lot of, you know, crazy stuff that happens up there. I'm gonna go 7, and I think on spirits, hard 10, pair of 5s.
I'm riding with you. I'm going 3-8 again.
So I'm a 0 on ghosts and a 10 on spirits.
Yeah. There you
Whoa.
go. There you go.
That sounds like a story.
That's a story.
Frank.
Not so many stories. You know, family members that have passed. I've never seen a spirit, but in dreams, I've seen them. You know, and I felt a presence. But I'm not a scientist. But from the little scientists or science that I've read, you know, energy doesn't die, and we're energy. So, what happens when you die?
I think you,
It's the
I think you
question.
finally
To the
make the 60-foot putt.
Yeah.
You finally drain it.
Yep. Like Palmer. Knock it
Nice.
down. All right. Well, with that, Adrian, give us our esteemed sign off.
Yeah. Catch us every Tuesday for Cigar Talk Live, 8:30-ish p.m. Central Time, live from Industrial Cigar Company.
And
Follow
Saturday.
Fuselage.
And Saturday. Watch us on Saturday at the shop.
Frank, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
Truly
having
an
me.
honor.
appreciate
You
it.
guys
It
have
means a
been
lot that you
amazing.
stuck around extra days. Your guy didn't make the cut, unfortunately, and you stuck around to be on this show.
For a 6 a.m. flight tomorrow. Yeah.
No, you
Let's
guys
get
have been
him out.
amazing to me, and I'm glad you guys had me.
Glad
Awesome.
you're here.
Welcome to the family.
Glad y'all were here. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.